Hey everyone, we are so glad you're here to join us tonight so that we can share a little bit of our testimonies. One of the ladies that was going to help share about UC is unfortunately still at her daughter's event and she's not able to share. She might can hop on at the end, I'm not sure, but she loves sharing her testimony. And I have seen the before after pictures and all that, and it's just pretty powerful. So we'll definitely update you when she's able to share again in the future. But tonight is going to be myself sharing and Miss Erin Berry, and I'm so thankful she's here tonight. I'm so thankful each and every one of you are here tonight. So we're going to get started. I just wanted to share a little bit about my family's testimony. My youngest daughter, she was born a little bit early, and with that came some GI complications. So going number 2 was not something her body did naturally. She was on 5 different GI medications. So 2 different reflex medications, and she was still having terrible reflex. He was having a Marilax type medication to help her eliminate. A medication to help, like when her stomach was super bad cramping, we could give her this medication to help with that. And then sometimes suppositories, and those are no fun for child or mama. It's just not. But neither is sitting there watching your daughter shake in pain, trying to do something that should happen naturally, but it was not happening for her. And so we had done a little bit of research. The doctors had done scopes and biopsies, and she's on all this medication, and we just were not getting anywhere with it. She also had a seizure disorder. She had a swallowing disorder, so we had to thicken everything that she would drink, and it was just, she was very, very unhealthy. We started doing some research, like I said, and we thought, okay, she needs a good probiotic. And so I didn't know better. I hadn't done much research yet. And so I was buying like over the counter Walmart probiotics, and we gave them a shot. They didn't really work. Then we started doing a little bit more research, and we did some from a health food store. We even did the refrigerated kind of probiotics, and it just was not helping her system at all. She was still staying severely constipated constantly, and just she was so tired. Like she would be able to run a little bit, and then she'd have to lay down and take a break. She just didn't have any energy, did not feel good. And so I just would always, I am a person of faith, and we were always just praying for her health. And I remember one night, when you see your child seizing and not able to drink, and she's going to all these birthday parties, and there's all these cute juice boxes and all these fun things, and she can't participate in that sort of thing. And you try to make it be as normal as possible, but you can't. And she's still having trouble going to the bathroom, and just all these things. I cried out to the Lord when I hit a wall. It's like, God, if you heal her, I will shout it from the mountaintops. I will give you all the glory. Just please, God, you've got to heal her, because there was no hope in the medical world for her getting better. But I knew God would not have brought her this far without her getting better. I had that faith. Nobody was going to tell me different. So then I did like a lot of us did, before bed, I started scrolling through Facebook, and that's when I saw my friend Cassie's post about her friend's son getting off his reflex medication. Now, that little boy in the picture was very relatable to my daughter. Super, super skinny, but a very big distended stomach, very full. You could just see it was so full. And that was like the picture of my daughter. Super skinny, but her belly was just tight and full. And so I reached out to her, and I was like, here's a little bit of what's going on with her. Do you think it could help? And she's like, you know what? I think it can. And there's a 60-day money back guarantee. So we prayed about it. We thought, okay, we've tried everything else, right? Everything else. So if you're on this call and you're like we were, and it's like you've tried everything and nothing has worked yet, we prayed about it, and we decided, okay, it is worth giving this a try. I always say everybody should just try Flexus, right? Because that's all we were going to do. We're going to try it. We were going to get our money back. I just knew that this wasn't going to work either. But one thing Cassie did really well was explain to us that it's not a quick fix. And my daughter was like 9 years old at this time. So like her body was not healthy for a long, long time. And so she said, you just give it the time. It can take 3 to 4 months. And I'm so thankful she did, because had we stopped at the beginning of the 3rd month, my daughter would not be healthy. She would not be off all 5 of her GI medications. She would still be needing her thickener to swallow without aspirating, and she would still be on her seizure medication. My daughter is 15 now. I'm trying not to cry. She is thriving, completely and totally thriving. And had Cassie not encouraged me in that 3rd month to just keep going, 1 more month, she said, 1 more month. I praise God every time I stop and think about it, that she said 1 more month, and that we just had to try 1 more month, because we saw some progress, but not enough to really justify the expense in my mind. And God moved so much in that 1 month. And it took her like an additional year to come off her seizure medicine and stuff like that, but she passed her first swallow study test 1 week before her 10th birthday. She was the oldest child at Children's that didn't have like CP or something like that, that still required thickener. And I remember the ENT saying, oh, don't worry, when she's in college, she can, get a solid color water bottle and go in the bathroom and mix up her drink. Nobody will know. And it just did not sit well with my heart. And so I'm forever thankful for these all natural products that God put in my Facebook feed. And I've been seeing Plexus posts for 2 years and just go and go and go. So if you have been invited here tonight and it's someone that you've known has done Plexus for a while, then I'm right here with you, sister, because I was 2 years of scrolling by and God caught my attention that night. And maybe God's catching your attention tonight. And so anyway, I wanted to share with you really quick before I turn it over to Erin, what we started my daughter on. And it's something that's called the triplex. So it's just 3 products and it's super simple. And if you're a busy mama or wife or whatever, simple is key. And so what it is our BioCleanse. And the name makes you think, oh no, I don't want to be running to the bathroom. It doesn't do that. But our BioCleanse and our ProBio 5. And so this ProBio 5 it made the difference in my daughter's health. It really, really did. This is a different kind of probiotic, and it breaks through that hard shell of the Candida, because she had 26 or 28, we lost count, pneumonias from all the aspirations, even with thickening. So she was on antibiotics constantly. So that Candida had wreaked havoc on her GI system. And so this right here is like no other probiotic. It's amazing. So this goes in, it gets rid of the bad stuff. This comes and cleanses it out. So like shampoo and conditioner. And then our other option, or our other part of the triplex, is our Slim, our pink drink, our famous pink drink, right? And so we started my daughter on the microbiome Slim. So this has prebiotics in it. There is another version that a lot of people like to use, like if they're looking for weight loss or whatever. And this is the hunger control version, and it's really awesome. So it was that simple, a few capsules a day and a pink drink that tastes amazing. And she was well on her way. And here at the end, I know, thank you for clapping, Megan. God gets the glory. He is so good. Here at the end, I'll share my testimony, since Miss Shara couldn't make it tonight to share about her UC. So, but God is good is all I can tell you. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share about Hallie, my youngest daughter's health testimony, and how God worked through the super simple system and gave me my daughter's like health. It's amazing. Okay, Miss Erin, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing, Hannah. That's just amazing. God gets all the glory, but I'm so thankful that He put these products in our pathway. Well, I'm Erin, and I started taking Plexus products actually in 2020. Our family was 6 months out from an enormous personal tragedy, and I was in the worst health of my life, both mentally and physically. I wasn't sleeping. I had no energy. I was depressed. And while I didn't care at the time, I was actually the heaviest weight I had ever been in my life. So I was praying, much like Hannah, different scenario, but was praying just for an answer. And God and my husband were certainly my rocks during that time and still today. But I just Hannah was right there when I needed her the most, but I didn't want to see it. But God had a different plan. And while it took me, I was the same way. I honestly I didn't see this being the answer. I just had so much going on in my mind and in my life at the time that I would, and even in our finances, we were strapped with some medical bills and just lots of stresses that I was like, this just the time isn't right. But thank God he knew better and kept whispering to Hanah, and she kept gently whispering to me. And so praise the Lord. I actually started the triplex as well in 2020. And like I said, at the time, I just wasn't sleeping. I had no energy. And I just prayed. I said, God, I just want to feel better. I want to enjoy life again. I want to have energy. I want to sleep through the night. And what I didn't expect was that I got all of that and more. Things that I didn't even expect started happening after consistency of staying on the products. And I started the products, and about 6 weeks in, I was just like, I felt like we were feeling like the financial burden of everything. And I thought, okay, we started like taking things off of our plate. And this was one of the things that we had just recently added that we started to take off. And I saw very quickly the benefits once I stopped, that this was something my husband and I were both totally in and said, nope, that will not ever fall out of the budget again, because we were seeing blessings from it that we never expected. So let me tell you about some of those things. After I started taking the products, um, not only did I notice an improvement in my mood and energy, but we have had 2 more miracle babies. Since then, I took the products through both pregnancies. I have the energy. So now we have a 9-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old at home. And I have the energy to run around with them and do all the things that you can imagine a 9-year-old and a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old want to do and get into. I sleep through the night. I can poop. That was one thing that I had been taking Miralax. My OBGYN with my 9-year-old put me on Miralax years ago, because ever since I was pregnant, I couldn't poop. And I like within 2 weeks, that was the first thing I noticed. I didn't need Miralax. I was drinking it daily in my coffee just to go to the bathroom, or I was miserable, and I could poop again. It was incredible. I got my zest for life back. By the way, we've thrown away all the Miralax and stool softeners in our house since we started the triplex. But I have a zest for life back. And one of the things I did not care about at the time is that I have lost almost 60 pounds now from the day that I started Plexus. I could have cared less about that. I just was not in the mental space to even worry about that at that time. But I'm down 60 pounds. And I got to tell you how that makes me feel. Like it's just been a huge improvement and blessing in our lives. And one thing that I actually didn't recognize, I started getting curious when I started talking about the 60 pounds. Like I saw all my Plexus friends posting these before and after photos. And when I started, I was like, I'm not taking before. I told Hanah, I'm not taking photos. I'm not doing this. Like, I really didn't see myself sticking with it at the time. So I was like, I don't need to do this. Also, but I started getting curious when I started seeing Plexus friends posting their before and afters. And I was like, well, I was stubborn and I didn't do this. I don't have any before and afters. But I remembered exactly when I started, because it was just such a significant time in our lives. And so I went back to and then I actually found my very first picture with a slim drink, and I went back to the day before that, and and I started comparing my photos, and I could not believe the difference. If you see my before and after photos, it's not just the weight, it's not just the puffiness in my face, it's my eyes, it's the joy that you can see, the sparkle, the the glowing in my skin that was back. And my sister-in-law even told me recently that she saw the joy and the excitement and the zest come back into my life. So that was just such a blessing. And one more thing I want to talk about is that also it has made a significant difference on my immune health and my family's immunity. So I am a nurse in the ER, and my kids go to church and nursery, and my daughter's in elementary school, and they're just like little petri dishes, right? Well, up until a few weeks ago, I literally had not been sick since the end of 2020. Like, knock on wood. I mean, I don't want to get too like crazy about it, because I could not believe that I had not really been sick since the end of 2020. And 2019 and the first part of 2020, I was the sickest I've ever been in my life. Like, my immune health, my mental health, my physical health, they're all tied together, right? And I just could not believe that after taking these products consistently, how how big of a difference it had made in my immune health. But also, my kiddos take mega kids, and my husband takes the triplex, and their overall health and immunity, just to like little bugs and viruses that are floating around everywhere, had become incredible. Well, literally until like 3 weeks ago, hadn't been sick until the end of 2020. And then a few weeks ago, April 1st, it was no joke for me. I was hospitalized with a very serious bacterial infection that was introduced into my body and full on attacked my body. It was related to my work as a nurse and an open area that I've since had removed on my lip. It was something that was a totally random thing. Bacteria got into my bloodstream and just started attacking my body. Specifically, all of my major joints were affected. And one thing I do just want to shout out is, outside of we talked a lot about our triplex combo tonight. But on top of that, I had taken Ease, which is one of the products. I should have brought it with me, but I had taken Ease, which is one of the products for inflammation and swelling and aches. And I honestly had really only taken that my time of the month, because when I was having like cramps and felt like extra puffy and bloated, I would take Ease. But my joints, if you could see them, they were like 3 to 5 times their normal size. It was absolutely ridiculous. And it was so painful, to the point where it was affecting my walking. I looked up the loading dose for acute issues with Ease, and I started taking the loading dose of Ease while I was in the hospital. And 2 days later, I could walk. 2 days later, my inflammation and swelling and pain were all significantly decreased. And I'm still taking one Ease twice a day. But I mean, it's made such an enormous difference. And I will say, on top of that, because my immune system, I truly believe that because my immune system and my overall health was at the best that it had ever been before I got this totally random attack on my on my body, I am actually healing quicker than anyone has expected. I saw my specialist on Friday, and he's like, "You've only been out of the hospital a week?" He's like, "How is this even possible?" And I said, "Well, God knew what he was doing. God knew that he knew exactly what he was doing, and he gave me the products that I needed to be able to build up my immune system and be literally, I'm 40 and I'm in the best health of my entire life. And that was not going to keep me down, kick me down, or keep me down, because I overcame that so much quicker than anyone expected. They're like, we don't even understand how you're doing so well at this moment." And so I truly, truly believe that God knew what he's doing, and that these products boosted my immune system and my overall health to put me exactly where I needed to be able to conquer that full on attack on my body. So also, Ease for the win. So that's just a little bit of my testimony. I will tell you, there is not enough time at all tonight. My testimony is bigger than all the time we have. But I just wanted to share that with you. And I'm so that those are just a few of the many reasons that I am thankful that God put these products and these people into my life.
Oh, Erin, thank you so much. I mean, God knew what he was doing. He would not leave me alone for prompting her. And I'm like, God, it's not the right time. And like she'd be like, oh, thanks, and like so sweet about it. But I was like, I didn't want to bother her. But if you're here tonight and someone has like reached out to you and like maybe God's prompted them to reach out to you. So maybe this can absolutely be a blessing to you as well. But to piggyback on the ease that Miss Erin was sharing about, we have a depuff easy energy challenge coming up, and Cassie has the bottle of ease, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. So for the challenge, we need that bottle of ease. We need active, which is our all natural energy drink, and then our slim. I don't care which slim it is, but I will just say this is a really good one too. This is my favorite. Hunger control. But anyways, if you need the microbiome, that's totally awesome as well. But we do have, Cassie, can you put the date in there, what the date is? But if you've never ordered our products before, you have an added blessing discount coming at you for this easy energy challenge. And with that, you can do our awesome 3-day reset. And Cassie has it right there. I'm out in my RV. I'm kind of hiding from the family. But Cassie has the reset. She's going to open it up. And so 3 days, super simple. It comes with everything you need for the day. So day one, Cassie, do you want to pull out day one and show them what's in it? You're amazing. She's like Vanna White. Look, it says, let's begin day one. So if you have your bag, you just literally pull up that box, you put it in your bag and you go. And so it has the daily schedule. So the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, and everything you need for that day is in there, except for water. You just need water. So there's a really awesome, and whoever invited you can, okay, yeah. So that she did the snack bar because you want to chew on something sometimes. The lean, that's the tomato soup, tomato collagen, and the bone broth. And then all those, you get the active, the pink drink, you get our hydrate that is full of minerals and electrolytes, and restore. Restore is just like incredible. And I don't even know what all it does, but it definitely helps reset your. Cassie, you want to share it?
Yeah. So Restore is a liver detox. So it's really detoxing your liver, getting all of those things out. Restore is almost the prime every single night to have after your day with your soups and things of that nature. I don't know about you, but I'm busy. I like that I can take this on the go. We homeschool, work out, all the things. I can literally put it in my bag, make sure I have a couple of water bottles on me, and I'm good to go. The protein, the soups, all of it. So I like it.
Yeah. Thank you. And yes, what's different about this 3-day metabolic reset, this fast, is it is high protein. So your body is going to use your fat as fuel versus some of these other fasts. And so some of the other fasts, your body goes into storage mode. So it will actually store your fat and hang on to it. But this 3-day reset is pretty phenomenal. So that's one option you can start with. Yes, the average is 6 pounds. So but option one to start on the Depuff Easy Energy Challenge is grab you that 3-day reset, and then grab you your active and your slim and your ease that Cassie has. I'm out of ease. Never again. Never again. So Megan is too. I'm sorry. So that combo is awesome. And anyway, whoever invited you here tonight can give you all the different options. But again, if you're new and you've not gotten started, there's extra special blessing for you showing up tonight, and if you choose to start on that challenge. But I want to wrap up tonight, and I want to just share with you real fast. You know how I shared my daughter, it took the end of the 3rd month, beginning of the 4th month for her to like see enough change in her body to like, oh, these products are working. I did not tell Cassie. I did not tell my husband. My daughter had to stop him for a procedure. And so it was like a week, right? And now I should have just asked the doctor, because like now since we've like shown them and they approve it. So, but I didn't know at that time. But I thought, well, there is a large difference between a 10-year-old's body and a 30-something-year-old's body that has hypothyroidism, hypoglycemia, had chronic lower back pain. I was set to have back surgery that summer. My mom's a school teacher, so I had to wait till she was done with the school year so she could help me with my kids. Had like my thyroid was just so not working. It was if I didn't even have a thyroid, it was that much issues. And so I just had a lot of inflammation and different things going on in my health. So I decided during this 1 week span to, give these products a try. And so within 1 week, I could feel a difference in my body. And so there was an area in my home that was driving me crazy. And it was my pantry. And it was so disorganized. It was a disaster. But we were fostering at that time too. I was basically living from my chair. Everybody was having to help me just to I'd had the nerves in my back burned. I'd had decompression and ASTEM and over 9 months of physical therapy, like all these things. And my back was ruined. And so I wasn't going to ask my husband, will you go clean the pantry and organize it, please? I just wasn't going to do it. And so within being on the triplex 1 week, I was in the pantry, organizing it, and I was feeling good. And I went home to walk with my, I call it a walking stick. It was totally canes. I had to have one in each hand. But anyway, I say my walking sticks. And I was in there working on my pantry. And Cassie told me when Hallie started, Hanah, write down everything she deals with health-wise. And I was like, oh, I don't need to. I've got it all, And so in the back of my mind, I knew I could remember her saying you need to write it down. I'm like, I got this. I know what I deal with. But when I was in that pantry, I realized I didn't have a headache. And I had to stop and think, when you have chronic migraines and chronic daily headaches, you don't realize you just push it to the back of your head and you got to go on. You still have to mom, you still have to be a wife, you still have to work, you still have to do these things. And so it just kind of I was putting a can of soup on the shelf, because I was able to bend down and stand up and reach, which was a miracle in itself, guys. I was putting a can of soup on the shelf and I thought, I don't have a headache. And I stopped and I had to think back. And I had gone 3 days without a headache. 3 days. And so, man, God, it's so good. And these products work. But anyway, I don't have daily headaches anymore. I don't get migraines nearly as often. And I'm happy to report I did not have to have that back surgery. And I was like, Cassie, how do these gut health products help with back? Because my back is doing amazing. And it was all about that inflammation, right? And then I learned about ease and I added that on too. And it's just amazing, guys. Amazing. So anyways, my thyroid has improved so much that they were able to wean me down on my medication. I didn't have to have back surgery. I knew some of my migraines are from my hypoglycemia and my blood sugar drops. I did not realize how many. And a lot of people I share that with, they're like, oh, I don't have blood sugar problems. But do you get a headache sometimes? Do you might, and you just don't know it. But I'll just tell you what, the brain fog lifted. It's kind of like Erins, spark and joy. I felt amazing. And that only took my body 1 week. And of course, the thyroid and everything took some time, but I knew within that week, it's for me too. So anyway, we will go ahead and close out tonight. We'll stop the recording. If you have any questions after the recording, we are open book. But thank you all so much for coming tonight. It's been a true honor to share our testimony. And thank you, Erin, so much. God's worked through these products for a very powerful testimony. And like she said, that's barely the tip of the iceberg for her. So we would love for you to come back another night sometime and hear the rest of our testimonies and catch Shara's. Can somebody say it, Julia? What's that?